Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to an episode of Change Starts With Us, Ohio. Today we have Frank P. Wood with us, who is incarcerated at Richland Correctional Institution. Welcome, Frank.
Jim, hey, good evening. How are you?
Real good. I hope you're doing the same.
Yeah, hanging in there. Fully recovered from the COVID effects that I had. Took about 30 full days to finally get over every symptom and the fatigue, but I'm back on top and feeling pretty strong.
Good. Hopefully you won't catch it again.
Yeah, especially in here.
Right.
Like living in a petri dish.
Okay, what's good today? I know you want to continue on things that happened during your trial and so forth.
Sure.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Jim, I know you and I have been talking for quite a long time on YouTube and the podcast.
Right.
And this might be, our 10th or 12th time doing this.
Right.
We're far from done. There's so much more.
Right.
So everybody knows, hey, we're talking about state of Ohio versus Frank P. Wood. That's me, the innocent man.
What county?
This case erupted out of the Medina County Court of Common Pleas. Case number 05CR0365. I was tried in the courtroom of Judge Christopher J. Collier, who's still on the bench and shouldn't be, and former Assistant Prosecutor Ann Eisenhower, who was basically pushed out of office. So a lot of things happened, and a lot of things that people just didn't know. They see what's in the news or what the prosecutor posted on Google or on the court docket, they have no idea. And that's part of the problem, that there was too much sensationalism, and no one ever got to hear from me. That's why I appreciate this. And for those that are out there listening, thank you. I encourage you to share this information, the laws we discuss, and the events with other people, because I'm not the only one, Jim.
Right.
Far from it. I've literally read police reports from other cases while here in prison. And I'm like, why are you here? And they're like, same reason you are. Oh, yes, can't find an honest judge. Gotcha. That's how it goes, And that's why Attorney Stanley and I, we've talked.
Right.
And he's been with me since trial, acting pro bono. And we both know we have the evidence. It's properly presented on my website, www.freefrankpwood.com. They can download my book, my habeas corpus, and the affidavit of accusation, my transcripts, and 329 pages alone of state court and public records that I use as exhibits. So they can verify what I'm saying is true. But we know, Jim, that we need a big law school, a big law firm to push this forward.
Right.
And Ron's willing to step aside, let someone step into the limelight. They can have it. We just want me home. That's all we want. But we will assist.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
Like my habeas corpus and the book and the affidavit of accusation, I did all that work. Ron Stanley helped me with some of the research, got me some case law that I needed. I assembled that habeas corpus, and he signed it as his own writing.
Good.
And then he did the same with the affidavit of accusation. And he filed it. And he's been a lawyer for like 35 years. So for him to do that shows that he has great confidence in what I assembled and my skill in the legal arena. And believe me, when I come home, I will go back and finish law school. I will have my law degree. There's going to be problems for a lot of people. But you know what, Jim? People are always welcome to contact me with my prisoner number and jpay.com. Everything is on my website. You can go to the Contact Us section.
What is your ID number for people to contact?
Sure, 504107. And that's listed with your information, Attorney Stanley one of our advocates.
Okay.
On my website in the Contact Us section.
Okay.
Just click there. You
Okay.
got it.
Hey guys, if you have any questions, please put them down there and I'll pass them on to Frank. Also, if you're watching by Facebook, please say hi so I know you're there. Thank you. Go ahead, Frank.
Oh yeah, I invite everybody's questions, ideas. I want to know if somebody else had someone wrongfully convicted in the Medina County courts, because there's no way I'm the only one.
There's a guy on death row that was convicted wrongfully.
Oh yes, you mentioned him last week. That's right. So or he wins, man. It's hard. You've got to have enough power
Right.
to push the evidence forward. Excuse me, because unless you have that big, like I said, big law firm, big law school, somebody with the media connections, unless you have that to make an honest judge honest, dishonest judge honest, he's not going home.
Right.
That's the same with me. The same with every other innocent man or woman in prison in this country.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
And it's frightening to see how this happened. It wasn't until I started reverse engineering the case from conviction, I went backwards to accusation. And then when I got to the accusation, Jim, I had to ask the all-probing question of why. I knew who did this to me. And once I figured out why, it made it very simple. And people need to think like prosecutors when they're fighting for their freedom. They have to expose the prosecution, publicly condemn them on social media. Okay? It's the only way. Because the social media arena is ours for the wrongfully convicted. The state, the prosecution, they can't control it, they can't corrupt it, and they cannot use their favoritism, their nepotism, and their fraternity to cover up for each other. And the thing is, these are supposed to be elected officials in positions of public trust. Jim, to trust, look in the dictionary. To trust means to allow without fear. So, Jim, it bothers me because I see people, I remember when I was free, I drive past the prison, I saw it. Go past the courthouse, it's there. See a cop car, okay, we're safe. Everything works. It is there. It's all there. It does work, and you're not safe. Because anybody can become a stock option at any time. And a lot of people don't realize that. Like, for instance, I got something I want to read right here. I want everyone to listen very carefully. Where are we? Yes. This was, it says slavery abolished, the 13th Amendment, proposed by Congress in January 31st of 1865. Ratification completed December 18th, 1865. Now remember, it said slavery abolished. And what I'm reading, there's two parts to the 13th Amendment. I'm going to read the first one. Neither slavery nor involuntary servitude, except as a punishment for crime whereof the party shall have been duly convicted, shall exist within the United States or any place subject to their jurisdiction. Wait a minute. They're saying slavery is abolished, but there's an exception. I'm a stock option. As long as you can convict someone and send them to prison for profit, as long as you can allegedly prove they were duly convicted according to law, they get paid. So what prosecutor and judge is not going to get up there in the morning and put someone in prison? You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Slavery for profit still exists in this great nation. That is, it's like a sock in the eye. You know what I mean? Like the Trail of Tears in the Sioux Indians when they were passing out blankets with smallpox. Who cares? They'll be fine.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
And sometimes, Jim, people ask me, Frank, how do you do it? How do you stay so strong, so motivated, so on fire when you do this? If you've been down 15 years, I'm like, listen, this is wrong. And karma is coming their way. Some people, one guy looked at me, I said, yes, Frankenstein's monster is coming home. One way or another, I'm going to be there. And I just encourage other people to stay strong in prison, to stay strong for their families, and if they got a good lawyer, work with them. You know, lawyers don't know everything about the case. And sometimes, like Ron Stanley, a great man,
Right.
he once told me, he said, Frank, give me a timeline for another situation. Basically, give me a series of events. What happened? So I wrote pre-trial histories, which are exhibits in my book, exhibits 8 and 9, as to what happened. You know, who knew everybody, how they were related, how we met. You know, this helped me understand what was really going on when I reverse engineered the process. And Jim, I encourage people to tell their families, their loved ones to do this, because the timeline is like looking at your case docket, okay, on the internet, and you see a series of events. Well, when you start getting into the intricacies of why would someone say this?
Right.
Where did they work? You know, who was their employer? Were they work buddies, drinking buddies? Were they doing drugs together? You know, things like all this matters.
Right.
Nothing is trivial, Jim. Everything in life matters. We know that. Okay? But prosecutors, they like to push all those little fine points aside. The things that do matter. Because when you get 5 little things that matter, they negate the one statement the prosecutor said. And they don't like that. The thing about a timeline, that pre-trial history, that tells here we go. That tells a lawyer what questions to ask and a private investigator where to look.
Right.
So if I can offer any type of advice or help or direction, I strongly encourage people to do this. Because these are all the little, what would you consider them? The little factors that keep floating around that I had to bring together. And that's what helped me put everything together. You know? Understanding the law and my rights. Like, for instance, Jim, did you know in the state of Ohio, everybody has a legal right to testify at the grand jury proceedings when
Right.
they're pursuing an indictment against you, unless it's a capital crime or treason. Okay? That's under the 6th Amendment. Also, I was allowed to have witnesses present. I was also supposed to have a lawyer present to make sure that the grand jury was selected according to statute known as law. I didn't have that. It was Beth Rapinchek, Judge Kimbler's former legal secretary. Now that's James Kimbler. His wife, Joyce Kimbler, is now on the bench because she retired and she mysteriously won the election uncontested. And, you know, these things happen, right? Especially in Medina. Now, it's called Revised Code. That's the law. Okay, the Ohio Revised Code, ORC. People drive down the road, they see ORC on.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Okay, before you hang up, we got a message from Anna. I have listened to all your interviews. I believe he is innocent 100%.
Anna, bless you. I don't know who you are, but bless you. Thank you for seeing through it. Jim, I'm going to call right back.
Okay, brother.
This is fun. Hey, let's keep going.
Yep.
Thank you for using GTA.
Guys, he'll be calling right back. That's Frank P. Woods. He's incarcerated at Richland Correctional Institution. You know, and it's kind of sad with these people that are innocent. We have Rocco, we have Frank P. Wood, we have the 2 guys on death row. You know, we interviewed Candace over Rocco, and really I'd like to see an attorney come to assist Candace with Rocco. He got something like 32 to life for a crime he did not commit. While you're at it, please, folks, check out our website, www.changestartswithusohio.org.
This is a prepaid debit call. This call is from a correction facility and is subject to monitoring and recording. Thank you for using GTL.
Hey, Jim.
You're back. Good.
Hey, I want to get back to that grand jury. See, the grand jury is a serious matter. Because in Ohio, under Criminal Rule 3, there must be a signed complaint by somebody that something happened.
Right.
Outside of the police, outside of the prosecution. My case doesn't have that, which is interesting on either allegation. And we've only discussed the first allegation. We haven't discussed the second one yet.
Right.
Oh, no. We haven't discussed why my transcripts are missing six or seven pre-trial hearings.
Don't tell me we got a thief. Don't tell me we got a corrupt. Don't tell me we have a corrupt system and a thief.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jim. You broke up right there.
Don't tell me we have a corrupt system and a thief. That's double whammies.
Yes, we do. That's guaranteed. And you know what, Jim? If I may reiterate that in another way, as a counter proposal, it's not the system is corrupt, it's the people using it for profit, for gain, for revenge, for position, and prestige, reputation. That's the problem.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
We do have a remarkable legal system in this country, but it's people that are using it. They've been in power for so long, and it's frightening to see what happens. I know one guy up in Grafton, he committed suicide just a couple of years ago because the parole board wouldn't release him. It's horrifying. You know?
Right.
He cried innocent for years, and the parole board said no, he did a sailor dive off a building onto a sidewalk. It's heartbreaking, but my mind, I can't go there. You know what I mean? I'm too much of a warrior inside. And that comes from a long line of a lot of events, but my goodness. Oh, forgive me. Like the revised code, Jim, and this is so people know when you go to my website, my book, A Blueprint for Wrongful Imprisonment, that's also written as an affidavit, and I think it was chapter 6, and I got a copy of my syllabus here for the book that discusses the grand jury proceedings. And the reason it's so important that, people understand this, and let me see here. No, not chapter 6. I know we're going to get...
Nancy says hi.
Hi, Nancy. I love you. You're my friend and family. She's so awesome. Well, you know what? That woman has saved my life in here a couple times.
I believe you.
I met Nancy in 1998 when I was in business through my accountants because Nancy's a CPA. And she is just flat out good people. And I love her as my family.
Yeah, that's why she's our treasurer.
Kids,
right.
everyone she cares about, they're part of me now. I'm sorry. The grand jury proceedings is chapter 11 in my book. And there's a revised code that says only prosecutors and chief prosecutors and assistant prosecutors shall have access to the grand jury. But Detective Mark Kohler, formerly of the Medina City Police Department, and I can't wait till we talk about him, Jim, he actually put in his police report, which is in my book, I think it's Exhibit 4, that he presented the case to the grand jury. Whoa, you can't do that. Because think about this. So far, Jim, this is called sham legal process. That's using sham legal process. All right, that's the name of the law. The revised code is 2921.52. I believe that is it. And so if we've proven my innocence so far, just on the felony one already, which takes evidence, then they presented what is known as fabricated evidence to the grand jury. Somebody lied.
Right.
So that means my indictment under that revised code was obtained through legal process, but designed to convince other people it was valid. Oh yes, my good man, I broke down every law I could find related to this matter. So I'm not even properly indicted, and they kept changing things, and that's what gets me, Jim. I encourage families when they're looking through their loved ones' documents, why did things change? Why are things missing? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
Ron Stanley printed me a docket in 2014 and another one in 2017. Things that I had filed are missing. And you can only click on and view documents published by the state. You can't view what I said. They don't want that. They don't want the public to know the truth. But it's so disenchanting to realize, wow, this is the greatest country in the world. And we have people that are slowly destroying it. I mean, think about it. If I'm correct, the United States is the longest standing freestanding government in history right now. Most governments are overthrown every 100 years, but we're still standing. It's amazing. I do love our country, man. I am a patriot, and I know what it means.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility
Oh,
and may be
Candace, you are.
recorded and monitored.
We need your life.
Also, too, goodness, Jim, with the grand jury proceedings, you can actually get the transcripts, but I broke this down in my book, but you have to follow certain laws and rules to get it. And this is a drawback with our legal system, okay? Those who are interpreting the law to fit a current situation, everybody has some type of bias or preconditioned disposition due to memories. And our memories reside in our hippocampus, each one as a cell assembly with an emotion attached to it. The basic emotions we call love and war, okay? It's fight or flight, it's accept or decline, to really simplify it, okay? And they have proven that 80% of our waking actions are controlled by our subconscious, which are those memories in the hippocampus. It's amazing. So these people, they operated according to what they knew, but what they knew was corrupt. I know a lot of people go to law school probably thinking I'm going to get out there and help people on death row, but all it takes is one person to say, hey, want to make some money? It's kind of rough because, I study a lot of finance, and I used to teach stock market investing to prisoners here in the prison. And one thing for sure is money is a tool of accomplishment. Please remember I said that. That's very powerful. So the grand jury proceedings, Jim, that hurt. That hurt a lot. I mean, they knew what they were doing from the get-go. So if I could encourage anyone to get their transcripts, print out their case dockets for their family, get a copy of the discovery if it's still available, get it. You've got to preserve the records. And we mentioned this like a few months ago, Jim. Early 2018, Attorney Stanley went to the Medina County Courthouse to get my case file. There was one piece of paper I knew it was in there. And Children's Services admitted that the alleged rape victim was very nervous due to her father's presence. I never forgot that statement. I sat on my kitchen floor with that entire file spread out, organized it in a way that it made sense. I asked Ron to get that page. Okay. The ladies that work in the vault, they said, we're sorry the file was lost. It can't be found. Yeah. And that's bad because under revised code, I believe it's 2301.41, 2901, 41, something like that. I got it. It's also in my book. They're supposed to hold records for 50 years for a case like this. 50 years. So how do you go losing things? That's like the stenographer. She can't reproduce the missing section of my transcripts. And that's Donna Garrity, the Medina County Court Reporters. Okay? Unreal. You can't reproduce my transcripts? Where did everything go? And that's another issue. If they're so right and righteous in their conviction of me, why lie, cheat, alter, destroy, or make disappear? And if I had no integrity in the situation, Jim, do you really believe I would be on this phone with you right now, live on Facebook?
I don't think so.
Let me tell you, man, I'm doing this with fire. Whoa, something happened over there. Reckless kids. It gets a little crazy here at times. But it's all right. We're going to make it. Oh, goodness. So anyhow, the grand jury proceedings, those are massive. That's where a lot of the problems stem with the courts. It comes from right there. Before that, it's the police. Before that, it's the information they get.
This call is originating from an Ohio correctional facility and may be recorded and monitored.
It's the motives of those making the allegations. It's like on the stand. Listen, hey, I'll make this really clear, people. My case is completely void. There is absolutely no DNA, no physical evidence, and no eyewitnesses of any kind. My case is based on motive, and so they can protect their families to keep the skeletons in the closet. I became the scapegoat by a matter of convenience and logical choice. Get rid of him. He knows too much. That's just the way it went. But it's all broke down in my book. I pulled no punches. You know? Goodness, I got a son out there who's 15, Jim, and I wonder what they told him. Does he even know I'm alive? You know? It's kind of bad because they had him illegally. Oh, goodness, Jim. I'm so glad we're having this conversation. Can you tell how much time we have? I lost track.
About 5 minutes.
Perfect. Remember we talked about how Judge Collier called Danielle Sadowski, who was now known as Danielle Smith, on Facebook?
Right.
And so you know you got the right one. Her husband is Brad Smith out of Medina. Hey, listen, give him an invite. They're gonna love it. She married this other guy and had my son illegally adopted in February or May of 2014. Okay? It's illegal because I was paying child support out of my prison pay. I get like $20 a month here for being a porter, for working. So I was paying 25% of my earned income. And there's a complete history from the day I entered prison available. I even filed for visitation. They denied me. I filed to stop the adoption. They said they ignored it. This was in a courtroom of Judge Kevin Dunn in Medina County. And there's no way they would have told my son the truth. Therefore, he did not make a proper conscious decision to be adopted by a strange man.
Right.
Therefore, that's kidnapping. That's a felony 1. Now, at that time, they should have stopped my child support that is due, would have stopped accumulating naturally. Okay? This year, just a few weeks ago, it's over at my rack. I got a new payment request from child support. The amount I owe has almost doubled to nearly $60,000. So she never told child support that she had my son illegally adopted by her new husband.
Right.
Remember, this is the same woman that Judge Collier declared to be on the transcripts not truthful in her testimony. Yeah, that's Danielle. The untruthful harlot that my son calls mom. I have no respect for her as a human being. She is a less than.
You have 1 minute remaining.
Make that clear. She's a less than an animal. She told a 9-year-old girl I raped her to protect her husband and put me in prison to cover it up. Wrong. I have no respect for her. In the meantime, please bear with my intensity. Jim, I'll give you a call in a few days for Friday. Hopefully we can hop into the next subject, which is the medical of this case. And I want to thank everyone for listening and bearing with my intensity as well. Bless you all.
Okay, Frank, see you Friday.
Yeah, Friday at 6 for sure. And I'll touch base by Thursday just to be sure.
Yeah, just in case something came up on this end. That's always good. Okay,
All right,
Frank?
Once again, People are free to write me and contact me with questions. I don't mind.
Thanks, brother. Hey,
Thanks,
bye.
Jim. Have a good night, my
You
good
too.
man. Take care.
Thanks. Hey guys, we have two things that we're selling to raise money for our organization. Our website's coming up. We have 4 admissions to Shadowbox in Columbus, Ohio. It's $88 value. We're asking $25 for it. Then this is for you outdoor people in the wintertime. This is a snow trails in Columbus. It's $198 value. We're asking $50 for. Let's see. Okay, this is the 6-foot bidder or winner may redeem the voucher for the following: 2 all-day lift tickets for skiing or snowboarding, 2 equipment rentals and group lessons included, valid any day. It is $198 value, and it's for snow trails in Mansfield, Ohio. We're asking $50 for it. We really need the money, folks. I'll post our fundraiser underneath the video. If you'd like to make a $5 or $10 donation, that would really be a blessing. As we have a lot of bills coming up, and so far this month we raised $45, and we have about over $100 worth of bills every month, plus our 501c3 we need to raise money for, and our we got to pay for our website, and we have to get supplies for signs for our protests, for education. Everything just costs money. Nothing comes for free, and we're asking for a $5 or $10 donation for those that are able to, guys. Have yourself a great and awesome evening, everyone. If I can figure out how that goes off.